Welcome to Real Estate on the Rocks, where you get top shelf real estate conversations served straight up, never watered down. Here's your host, Dave Snowberger.
Welcome back to Real Estate on the Rocks. My name's Dave Snowberger.
Hi, Dave.
I'm joined in the studio today with Alicia Hooper.
Hey, y'all.
Marshall Tucker.
What's up?
And the new guy behind the glass, we got James Mendez.
What's going on?
Not much. All right. Today we were talking earlier about motivation. It wasn't mindset for once. Right?
It's still an M.
Yeah, it's still an M. Motivation. Motivation. What keeps us motivated? What keeps us going day in, day out? Drop it.
Drop it like it's hot. Plays into your why, doesn't it?
What's your why?
Ooh.
I guess mine's my family. So
Nobody asked you.
damn. Well, no one was talking. I was going to volunteer.
Go ahead, Marshall.
That's awesome.
Yeah, just my kids. I wake up every morning. Ariana has to get up and go to school, so I usually wake my wife up to take her to school. but and then I turn and I look at my son, and he's still sleeping, and I'm like, wow, I made that, and now I got to take care of it. So get up now and brush my teeth, shower, and go to work.
I love it.
Nice.
So
Motivation.
sweet. There you go. Good stuff.
How are you keeping your motivation over there, Alicia?
I don't know. This is a...
All right, James is chomping at the bit over there. James?
Motivation is just for me is just to kind of grow everything. So once we got a lot of projects going on, and I see the long-term growth and development of all the projects and things that I've been wanting to do for a long time, and so it's always constantly on my mind and trying to build that and the stability for a family, because I'm, as everybody knows who knows me, is family is insanely important to me. So building up the financial abilities and depth and income to leverage, so I can free up some time so I can dive completely into business and enjoy that and build that out, and also spend time with kids when I have them. So that's my driving force.
Nice.
So much so like this morning I told a story earlier, I was thinking about man, it's nice, relax in the morning, have some coffee and some breakfast and stuff. And I was thinking about the entire morning since like 5 o'clock this morning is getting up and getting in the office so I can get in here and do some work and follow some people, waiting for the contracts are going and stuff like that. But no, I mean, even when I'm visiting friends, like my friends who have 4 kids, I'm still, hanging out with the kids. I'm pushing the kids on the swing set. I'm doing all that stuff and still thinking about work. When I'm up back in California visiting family, I'm doing stuff with them and still mine. Mm-hmm. And I just can't turn off. Like we were talking before about set your schedule and, you have a good start time, good end time. I don't function very well with that. So my end time is when I just either am told like, hey, come home now, you're done.
Dude, I know.
Or when everybody else is gone. Like there's been several nights where I'm here and like it's completely dark, nobody's here, and I'm just sitting there pounding away on the keyboard, kind of looking some stuff up, or just kind of like.
We've been here till 9 o'clock every night. We know who leaves early and who stays.
All right.
Yeah, this place
everybody
goes down. Yeah, I'll get some people walking by the hallway and they kind of like peek underneath the little tinting on the glass, like, "What are you doing?"
It's the cleaning people.
No, I'm here later than them sometimes.
The only thing I want to say with that is be careful, because no matter how passionate you are about what you do, burnout does exist. So
100%. I know because of, with the military and our deployments and stuff like that, I know I can burn the wick a lot longer than most people. And so I'll just keep going with it until, like when I need to shut down or when I need to leave early, I do. When I've a couple times where I called in, I'm like, I'm burnt. I'm a little tired. I'm coming a little bit late. They're like, okay.
Yeah.
No,
so,
we all certainly
happens.
have burnout. And I didn't want to be a little bit disingenuous like one of our last episodes we had talked about, but the whole thing with the start time and the end time.
Yeah.
Like the start time, yeah. End time's when I go to bed.
Sure.
Like I have to be real about that. It's like I love to work. That's all I do is work, and I absolutely love it.
Well,
and I do go through burnout. That's the thing.
Absolutely. And I absolutely love helping people. I've had clients where the husband was a night shift worker, so I was communicating with them at midnight.
Yeah.
That's when he was awake. So you got to do what you got to do, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You okay over there, James?
Yeah. Got a response back.
Oh, you're negotiating a contract while reporting on the air. There you go.
They countered back and they didn't give me everything I wanted. So I have to go to my clients and make sure that they know that we didn't get everything we wanted.
Yeah.
I keep telling them, hey, it's all about a win-win, but when you don't get everything you want, it still kind of burns a little bit.
Yeah, but they're still getting a hell of a deal. So I know the ins and outs of that contract.
Deal.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, killer deal. exactly
Killer
what they
deal, great
wanted,
town.
where they wanted it. I mean, everything that we found that one, looked around a bunch of other options that kind of fit a roundabout of what they wanted, and they still came back like, nope, that's it. That's the one we wanted from the beginning. That's the one we're taking. And it's several thousand off of what they, even if we accept everything that they counter back at, it's still below everything, the initial price. So
Yeah, there you go.
It's still a win.
Okay, back to motivation.
I am super motivated for that.
Cool. No, I know.
It's
I
just
just don't
fun.
want to
It's
lose.
exhilarating.
I just don't want
No.
to lose topic while we were doing this.
No.
So, where were we?
Staying motivated, staying engaged,
Burnout.
and burnout.
Burnout.
And then the point for don't be busy just to be busy and be dollar productive. You were trying to tap on that.
The ability to recognize what dollar productive versus just being busy. Like realtors are really good at shuffling paperwork from one side of the table to the other, opening their laptops, closing their laptops, making sure something works, setting up their logos, setting up a bunch of marketing stuff, setting up a new Facebook page,
Searching Facebook for leads.
Yeah, just
Getting
doing, getting coffee, stopping by, telling people how your open house went, and then boom, it's 5 o'clock. It's time to go home.
Yeah, the day flies by. You have to be productive.
Yeah, and so you have to really do the things you don't want to do when you don't want to do them and buckle down. And so that was part of that whole system we had talked about in one of the previous episodes, was coming up with your mindset in the morning and starting that great routine. Mine starts at 5. I think yours starts at 9 a.m. Oh, okay.
Did you say 9 a.m.?
Yeah.
Thanks, Dave.
Unless it's weekends and it's about noon. And so we all start kind of
noon, though.
right.
That's right.
We all start kind of around the same place, right? I'd say, and so it all starts on that, and that's what helps. I can only speak for myself, but what helps me keep my motivation is that I know the life I want to lead. I know what I want to do with my life. I want to know what I want to. I know what I have to contribute and give back. To be able to receive what I want out of life. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
I just want to keep pouring in. I'm super motivated by that. When I go to bed, I can't wait to wake up in the morning, go to Orange Theory, and then haul ass into work and get here and talk to my crew, talk to my team, talk to my guys and gals, and start talking to everybody and just start drawing out how this is going to look, bringing in some good ideas. And I get super. You can tell right now in my conversation, I'm a little bit hyped up because
your energy is
man,
up,
I love this shit.
Yeah.
You just see him on that damn whiteboard. He's like burning them dry erase markers out.
Oh yeah. I mean, we're already.
You should see some of the crazy, oh man, sometimes, I mean, we can't share all this stuff, but man, some of the diagrams, we'll bring it back up to look at it. And it made sense, in the moment. And then we'll jump in there. We'll draw on stuff. Mel will jump in there. She'll start writing on top of stuff. And you're seeing all this stuff and you're like, oh yeah, this makes sense. Great vision. We're going some places, and reference it back. And you're like, whoa, we did all that in one conversation.
Yeah.
It's crazy to kind of get all that stuff on, but then we break it down and actually go through the pieces of it, and you're like, oh yeah, that's where we need to hit this, that's where we need to hit that, and it just kind of realigns everything.
But there's the thing with that is so we can do this, we can sit there and we can whiteboard all morning long and come up with this great thing. And if anybody walking by our door, we have a clear door, anybody looks in, they're like, what are you guys doing? Building a rocket ship? And it's just like, well, pretty much. Yep. I mean, it's our rocket ship, and we're all realtors. We're going to hop on and ride it to the moon. Boom. And so it's after that point, where does that go? What's the execution of that? So on the top of our whiteboard, it actually says consistency. Consistency, and then shut up and execute.
Nice.
That's our biggest thing. That's our biggest downfall as realtors, period.
Oh my gosh.
Is that we don't execute. We can sit there and we can get into these mastermind groups. We can be in these coaching groups. We can be in all these Facebook groups, and we can add our 2 cents. Mode. Right. And we're always learning, and we're not executing at the highest level. Mm-hmm. And I mean, even if you made it 80-20, the Pareto principle, right? And so if you started executing 20%, that's going to result in 80% of your business. Right? So what's that going to look like? Right. So Marshall just over there just nodding his head. Yep. Keeps looking at his watch
he's failing back.
He's like, all about it.
I was taking it in, man. I'm learning.
Okay, now go
execute. Execute in the microphone. All right. So talk to me a little bit more about motivation. Let's keep going.
Yeah.
We're talking about burnout. You got to have the planned vacations and planned time off as well. So you just came back from Disney.
Right.
So you're super hyped up now. So.
Super hyped up. I mean, I'm ready to dominate. I mean, my whole thing these days is all about building a media company. Right. And so that's what I care about the most. I care about my agents. I care about the agents that are around me. And then I care about building a media company to bring in more. Right. Because I can pitch a wide blanket over a lot of people with marketing. Some people are marketing based and tech enhanced. Some people are tech enhanced, marketing based. Some people are prospecting based, tech enhanced. It's just how you are. We're really both. We're marketing and tech enhanced. You know,
I like it.
And prospecting.
I mean, just throw it all into one.
Win on that expired list. Loving that.
You familiar with that?
No.
What I did was we had that big day with a national call day. Or the call day for the market
blitz
center.
Or whatever.
The blitz, the marketing blitz or the call blitz.
Yeah.
Where we called all the expired and withdrawals. And I had a copy of that on my desk, and I just turned around with James, and he doesn't have much going on. And just said,
like nothing. I was like, it was like swinging in the wind for a little while, and I was like, I need to get deeper in because I made a few of the expired calls, and he's like, there's like 20 grand in this list. He's like, call it 3 times. He's like, you'll get it.
No, I said, yeah, that's why I just took it. I mean, it's got 10 pages to it. You know, it's like, dude, there's $20,000 commission laying in this list. Call these people 3 times. Even if they tell you no, call them again.
Nice.
You know, and so boom, boom, boom.
Right?
Now he has
I had a couple.
He has a listing from it. Yep. You have another appointment coming up from it.
Yep. And then a buyer.
And a buyer.
Nice.
Yep. I think I had like 3 deals off that.
And so,
James next week.
which in a sense has, could work out to be $15,000 worth of commission.
Yeah.
You know, so.
And I'm not all the way through.
Love it.
Some of them
I
were
wouldn't
like
say good job,
listing agents.
Dave. I mean, that's my job as a team leader is really to bring that stuff up and really push those type of things. And that's why I took credit
job,
for
James.
when Marshall was with me at first, he wasn't having a ton of success. He had every lead in the world. We didn't have a lead problem.
Sure.
We had a lead follow-up problem. We had a lead conversion problem.
Right.
And that was all my fault. He tried to take some blame for it, but it all lies on me. I am the leader of the team. It's my fault.
And you motivated him.
Yeah.
So you recognized that he needed a shift in his motivation, right?
Right. Right now, we're down an agent in Corpus Christi. We don't have anybody there. However, we have a killer lead generation system in place in Corpus Christi.
Nice.
And it pulls leads all week long.
Nice.
James, you're not doing anything this weekend, are you? Why don't you run down to Corpus Christi? Dude, you know, like I have the MLS down there. We have the MLS down there. Like, you know, it's like, here you go. And
I grew up in California. I know coastal areas. I know condos. I know I know everything around that area on like why people buy there and live there and vacation and stuff.
say white people?
Why?
Oh, white
people.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, man.
Let's go ahead and skip that.
So I had that stuff down. I just didn't know the area in and out. So what do? Research it. I read a bunch of stuff, asked Dave a bunch of questions, and got a pretty good understanding with it. The people live here in Dripping, so we started
GPS.
talking.
He took the Mini Cooper.
What?
flying down, out, mobbing out in the Mini.
Reppin', yo.
Yeah.
Don't
Got
take
that-
it on the sand,
And
though.
then
No.
almost.
Too late.
I almost got rained out. Are you kidding me? I was running through puddles in that storm that hit town.
Yeah.
But it was fun, and we're under
But
contract
anyway,
right
so
now.
that was another thing was like, hey, you don't have a ton going on right now. Why don't you go down there? I mean, if you get something under contract, do the math, bro.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
is it not worth it to go down there for a $3,000 check for 2 days and you get to go to the coast?
all day.
Yeah, boom. He hopped in the car and went, wrote a contract, done.
And got a call today for another one.
Sweet.
Yep. Oh, and possibly 2.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Motivated.
Staying motivated. No, it's been great. Like it came
Business
in.
is always motivating.
Yeah.
You know,
Absolutely.
unless you don't have any, then obviously that's where you fall short. So how do you stay motivated there? That's what we need to talk about because
That's a
we're
great
front facing towards agents that are new to the business or just getting back into the business or, you know, having a restart.
Yeah.
What do we say to them to keep them motivated when they got nothing going on?
I think it's important for motivation, if you want to keep that in line, is to have small wins. So if you don't have business right now, set up a small win. Like, okay, I intend to set an appointment within these 20 contacts that I'm going to make. And that's a small win. Let that motivate you. Don't look at the big picture. Like, I don't have a deal. What you focus on expands, right?
Right.
Like, I don't have any deals under contract. I don't have any active buyers, whatever.
Just work on having a good conversation with them. I have a great conversation with a guy who may or may not list with us, for sale by owner, and I call him at least once a week and talk to him. I got to stop by next week when I get back in town.
Yeah, so whatever that looks like, that small win, whether it's an appointment or whatever.
Yeah, and just a good conversation. He's not listening with anybody else right now, and he's just ready to, keep trucking along. But it's a good win. Careful with your motivation when you're going up to your appointment. I think I told you guys a story. I can't remember. I was for the expired listing. I was like, I got this. There's no problem. I know the marketing. I know what we can do. I know how we can market it. It'll be a solid win for me, right? Get up to the door, say hi, and and she's, we're talking. And it was like, nice to see you nice to see you. You have a great home. And I walked in her house and she's like, oh, well, come on in. Single mom, but just her and her daughter, and I just walked right in the house like, hey, let's go, time to go.
Oh my Lord.
Invited himself in.
I just walked out,
standing back and handing out your card.
Oh my God.
Standing sideways, inching forward.
I wasn't confrontational, obviously appearing when I first got there, but oh my God, like everybody was dying when I tell them the story, and I was like, well, I had the stuff. I got I got the deal, but yeah, definitely don't walk into someone's house like that. Slow down a little bit. Be invited.
No, we'll probably do a whole show one day about
awesome.
etiquette, maybe showing etiquette.
Clearly,
we should probably schedule that soon to do a whole kind of like a listing presentation. Almost you can hear over the mics just to get that mental picture of what you need to do. Like when we go up to the door and we.
Yeah.
Hi, Mr. Seller. It's Dave, and we had a 2:00 appointment, and it's. Tap your watch, 2:00. So
some of those things are good. I mean, but it worked out. I mean, especially you come in there, like if you know me, like I have a good heart. Like I'm like most people feel good around me and like feel safe around me. So,
but she didn't know you, so
yeah. Well, yeah. So definitely went in a little too strong for that.
Yep.
But it was pretty good, and it worked out.
Well, cool, good deal, man. Good deal.
Did you spend any time at the beach?
Oh, when I was down in Port Aransas, I mean, I drove by it a couple of times.
That's all you need. That's all you need for Port A.
And then it got the storm. I was like, oh yeah, I get some good pictures, kind of chill out a little bit. Oh no, the storm like came flooding down right as we finished showing the last condo, and yeah, the storm was coming down.
Yeah, I was there 2 years ago or so. The whole island flooded, and I was like one of the last ones off the island. And then I went out to the King Ranch, which is one of my favorite places on earth, and same deal there. Like we're out on the tour out by the house, and all of a sudden they're like, everybody's got to go. Whole town shutting down. It was pretty bad down there.
Yeah, luckily they're rebuilding. The Port A is looking a lot better. Still places with no roof. Still, like one of the condos still under construction. A bunch of them, but they're still selling them and renting some out. And it was actually fairly not too super busy because the weather still coming in the spring. But yeah, definitely a good place to be.
Awesome.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Let's talk a little bit about, that's motivation. How about like accountability? I mean, does that tie into motivation at you for all? At you for all? What is that?
Absolutely.
For you at all.
Yeah, accountability absolutely ties into motivation because if I'm being held accountable, if I know I'm reporting to somebody or whatever, I'm definitely motivated to do what I need to do.
I always say it's your bank account. Like, I don't want to go and do that for that person. Well, okay, you don't have to do it, but look at your bank account.
That's right.
Check it.
Yep.
And then you'll know.
Yeah. I when I got into the business, like I said, in the first year or two, I did anything it took. Anything. I mean, people, I won clients over. I still have clients to this day.
Yeah.
That use me in their reviews. They said Dave went above and beyond. Like that was no joke. Like anything that it took to get the job done.
That's right.
We need to see the house as soon as the lockboxes turn on at 8:01. Like on a Saturday. It's like, oh, okay. Just like anything I would do. I mean, it just didn't matter. I would bend over backwards to make anything happen. And other realtors, seasoned grizzled vets around the office would be like, hey kid, you don't have to work that hard. And I'm like, well, that's what you say.
Right.
I do have to work this hard because you're getting all these calls for come list me, and the brokerage is giving you leads, and I'm having to out here hustle by myself. Like $4,800 the first year.
Right.
Obviously I figured it out later, late in the year that like no one's going to do anything for me.
That's right.
And I had to find the motivation to dig deep.
Sure.
And like my whole motivation was just kind of being broke. Broke is a joke.
Yep.
I was so broke I couldn't afford to pay attention.
But you did because you built those amazing relationships that are still with you today.
Yeah. But that really happened in my second year of business. And so it was probably about 18 months into the business, which really is the gauge for almost anything in business.
Yeah.
You have to stick with it for about 18 months, about 2 years.
Yep.
Yeah. And I gave myself 2 years.
Yep.
I gave myself 2 years and to see if I could do it. If not, I had to go back to a salary job. And, I wasn't having that.
That is my number one motivation is I do not want to go back to corporate America.
Do you know?
I can't fail. I can't.
Right.
Yeah. Do you know that like cubicles, when I see them, make me sick?
Do they?
They make me sick to my stomach.
I didn't think they'd be that bad until I went upstairs to help one of the girls. She said, when I was on phone duty, she's like, hey, can you help me with a big box? So I walk upstairs and thinking like, hey, it's right there by the door. Nope, it's down the hall a little bit and under the whole cube farm. And I was looking, I was like, oh, I cannot believe I spent a couple years of my life after the military in a giant cube farm, and you just have this like little box, and they have their monitors and have the little decorations and stuff. I'm like, oh, that's
cute.
That's horrible. I can't. Oh my god, I cannot imagine going back to that. And even at the base right now, down in San Marcos, where my reserve center's at, they have a bunch of cubes, and instead of having an office like the old place, because of it's set up different, I have to have my little space in the cubes, and oh man, it sucks. I hate having that little space.
Yeah, my thing came from when I was in sales in my early 20s. I just kind of I killed it at the job. I did a great job. The awards said I did. But I won a lot of awards for, with Dell computers and some other, tech outlets. And I won, I'm like patting myself on the back, but I'm going somewhere with this story was that I worked in cubes. All those jobs were in cubicles, right? And so when I left that and I opened my first bar with some of my friends, with 5 of my friends, which was a disaster because you had 5 people that were just raging partiers that threw their money in and opened a bar on 6th Street in Austin, Texas, the busiest bar, the busiest nightlife street there is. Sure. And we had no rules, no regulations, and we were making money somewhat, and just kind of doing all that stuff. And then I parlayed that into owning 5 bars, and all 4 of those other guys faded out because, as we got older, everybody got married and had kids and whatever else. I was the only one that didn't. Yeah. And so when it came time for me to leave the bar business and I sold everything off, it was kind of like, okay, I certainly didn't make enough money to last me. I didn't create generational wealth. Mm-hmm. I created a temporary solution to a permanent problem. Permanent problem is you always have to be making money. Right. And I had the temporary, fix, the Band-Aid that was X amount of dollars that kept me going for a little while. So I started looking at jobs and I started sending out resumes that were, high salary resumes. And one was a consultant where I would have to fly all around the U.S. like every Monday morning, Sunday night, I'd have to leave and hop on a plane and fly somewhere. Didn't want to do that, because I got to fly home on Friday, and then I just didn't want to spend that much time on a plane. Sure. And then, but it paid really well. And then another one was another high-paying job that was sales, which I know I could certainly do. Mm-hmm. Sales is just about relationships and asking questions, right. And getting to know people and getting to know no one like you, right? So I did that. But then I walked into one, and I sat there, and I was like, man, I'm like sweating. I was like sweating, and all of a sudden my stomach started to turn. I'm like, what is this? Yeah. And I really didn't put anything on it. Then I went and looked at another place. Same thing happened. I was like, the cubicles are making me sick because that was that grind I was in back when I was with, the tech firms here in Austin. Was like I was doing that every day and grinding it out and just hammering the phones every day, filling purchase orders, doing all these things and selling. And, I had to go after you make 4% off the GP, right? Gross profit in there. So the thing is to sell millions of dollars worth of computers and then you'll make X amount of dollars, right? That was my grind every single day I was in that cubicle. Anyway, long story short.
That is not motivating at all.
It is not motivating. It actually, when I see cubicles, it motivates me. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it motivates me not to be in a cubicle.
That's what I'm saying.
Melanie in our office was like, oh, look at these desk options, boss. Yeah, and she's like, it's a cubicle. And I was like, nope.
Not even going to look at it.
I wouldn't subject anybody on my team to sit in a cubicle. Yeah. I would not do that.
We have like the furthest thing from it. We have these nice stand-up, tall, like desk platforms, and that's it. Yeah. That's all you got. You have nothing else.
30 to 55-inch monitors in the office. Yeah. It's all stand-up. We've got a recliner if anybody wants to sit down for a minute. It's not a recliner, but more like a lounge chair. Yeah. What is it called?
I thought that was Dave's chair.
It is.
Okay.
It is.
Well, when we come up and like brainstorm, we'll like plop in there.
Or I say, ideas. Marshall's like, I got an idea. And I go, come sit on the lap, buddy. Tell me your little idea.
It's Dave's chair. When he's not here, it's my chair.
There you go.
Then I'll walk in. Sometimes he's there. He's like, his eyes get real big.
He's like, I didn't know you were coming.
Should I move? I'm like, oh, you don't have to move, bro. Anyway,
too funny.
It is like it's become like the brainstorming chair. Like somebody's sitting in there, and then they're just like they're not paying attention to everything else. They're just either have headphones on or just like digging deep in like their phone or like the tablet or something like that, and they're just zoned out. I walked in. Was it Saturday? No. Yes. Yesterday, the day before, something like that.
The corner,
and Dave, I look over, I see like the top of Dave's head, and I come a little bit closer, and he's got he's sitting in the chair, feet are up, and he's just like buried alive in that phone, just like doing a bunch of editing and everything. And you can tell he's like in the zone. I popped up, told him something real quick. He's like, yeah, okay. and then head down right back into it.
Yeah, if I got earbuds in or earphones on, it's like that's the biggest sign. I could either have that or a big sign on my chest that leave me the F alone.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm buried and deep into something. But like usually it's video editing, which takes a lot out of you mentally. Like it like stabs you in the back of the neck, you know, like right where your head meets right here. That's how it feels when I get done with 2-3 hours of video editing. Like it just, like I just feel taxed. You know, like people are like, well, what you do is not really hard work. I'm like, you're absolutely right. I'm not digging ditches and my back doesn't hurt. I'm not, like humping a wheelbarrow everywhere with full of dirt.
But you sure would bail out in 2 years.
Yeah. I mean, this job takes a certain mental toughness for sure. And anybody that wants to disagree with me, let's go. You know, it's like send me at
on the rocks.
Thank you very much.
That's why they have leverage. That's why you leverage that stuff, some of that stuff out. If you're not truly passionate or like enjoying, I mean, you have to do some of it obviously yourself when you're first starting out. But leverage that stuff out and find somebody who can, help you with that stuff. Talk to people in great groups like Top Shelf Agents on Facebook. And get in there, get a good community, and grow that stuff up.
You want to show I mean, everybody's plugging everything. You want to throw your parents' barbecue restaurant in there?
I mean, the pit barbecue.
If you're ever visiting Texas,
Georgetown, Texas, specifically,
2427 Williams Drive.
That food will motivate you.
Yeah.
I was going to say, when you're feeling tired or burned out or whatever, Grant Cardone says that you just lost your motivation. So you're not necessarily tired. You just lost your purpose or your why. So recenter.
Recharge.
Yep. Clarity is power.
Yep.
Remind yourself what that motivation is.
Yep.
Take a moment.
But typically that reverts back to
mindset.
Ooh, damn. It's like when say wavelength. Like our since you erased our sound effects, we still have to make our own. Yeah, well, we can stop all that.
I got a new board in, but they didn't update the firmware with it when they sent it over, so I'm gonna have to update that.
So he's gonna screw that one up too.
I'm gonna need you to get motivated to learn the board.
I need you to hurry up so they don't charge my card another $900.
Yeah, I gotta send that back.
That'd be nice.
Motivated. I'll
Appreciate that. Oh my God. What were we talking about even?
Motivation.
Being motivated.
Squirrels, how they get on a trail, a rabbit trail, and just start, like how bad this group has ADD.
Yeah, it is pretty bad. Well, James likes to tell stories, and
I like to tell stories.
Yeah, I do too.
too.
However, he struggles to get to the point sometimes.
I was 100% on point. Get out of here.
It's a wide circle. He's like, oh, trust me, I'm going to tie it in. I'm going to tie it in. Like,
Stay with me.
Actually, I tied it back to motivation every time. So thank you.
Okay, on the next episode. All right. Well, like I said, I can always hear the podcast players shutting off when we start going a little bit long here. So, you want to tie this down, Marshall? Motivation.
Just motivation. Well, I don't know. A lot of times I say, I guess my why is my family, but when it gets down to it, I'm not going to be a failure. I'm not going to quit. You're going to have to drag me out of here.
Yeah.
So that's my motivation every day when I wake up.
Okay. I want everybody to realize that motivation is temporary.
Yep.
Right? I mean, it's temporary. It comes and it goes. Sometimes you have it, sometimes you don't. The best thing to do is work on your mindset every single day. And that really, motivation's an inside job, right? So you have to feel it on the inside. 100%. And typically that happens with your mindset.
That's right.
Happens with your routines. It happens with creating a routine and accepting the dollar productive activities that you have to do every day to be successful in this business. People get into this business for what, Marshall?
Profit.
Oh my God.
Your go-to phrase.
Yeah, your go-to phrase, you blow it.
What is my go-to phrase?
He's
in all recruiting meetings, what do you say that the reason people come into real estate is
flexible schedule or unlimited income potential?
There you go.
Boom.
And then we always say you can't have both, at least when you're starting out.
That's
definitely
right.
not when you're starting
You
out.
can get there.
Right.
Yeah.
You can definitely get there.
Mm-hmm.
However, I'm going to disagree and say you can't.
Ever?
You can't really have both. Where can you get the freedom from?
Leverage.
Of what? You have to constantly be working the deal. Don't you?
You have to be constantly working the business.
I'm just creating conversation right now.
Yeah,
Really, is
you
what I'm doing. Is I'm stirring the pot.
No, you can manage or you can lead and inspire and your people in there, and then they're doing actually the work, and you're just spinning plates. You're just keeping everybody moving. Yeah, you're always doing something. Like you have the free time, you have the ability to work in the aspects that you enjoy most, and you leverage out everything else. So you're still working, but I mean, you still have the time that you dedicate, say, for like family activities or vacation times, because you have the key people you need, your empire builders inside your empire that are in line with you to build that dream because they've signed in to grow that?
I'm going to say that real estate wise, it's pretty hard to do.
Yeah.
It's hard to do. Now, what you do with the profits from real estate is what can make you really provide freedom for yourself.
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
I mean, it's very easy. The more you make money, the more you want to spend money.
The unlimited income potential comes from the profits that you spend, the investments that you do. If you get into real estate, like I have an infographic, I'll post it on Top Shelf Agents. However, it's if you buy one house at $150,000, you put 20% down, you charge a $1,300 to $1,500 a month rent. You do that for 1 year, then you buy another one. And then the next year you buy 2 more. Next year you buy 3 more, and you get up to 7. Within 7 years, you can have $1 million. Within 10 years, you can have $2 million.
Nice.
That's the way to do this. There's not enough hours in the day to have unlimited income potential being an agent that doesn't operate in the 1%.
Correct.
The 1% being those agents that have the big book of business that sell the $10 million, $20, $30 million properties.
They truly have a business where they can walk away. They can go on a vacation for a month and they're still making money.
Right.
Because their business is sound and strong. And
Right.
That's how you build the mailbox money. That's how you build the empire. You have to understand where you're going, more or less have the framework for where you're going.
Basically, it's when you no longer work for your money and your money works for you.
that's right.
Boom.
That's when you have what this everybody comes into this business predicated on, that they're going to be rich.
Right.
You know, I'm going to tell you, I'm not a dream killer. You're going to be uber successful. Everybody on the other side of one of these microphones and everybody listening to us, you can be as successful as you want to be. It's just what you do with the time, the leverage, and the money you create, right? And so when you're
Motivation to get there.
yeah, and the motivation to get there and the mindset to get there and all the things. You tied it back into motivation. I'm very proud of you.
I'm telling you,
job,
I'm on
new
it.
guy.
Bam, got you.
Cool.
Boom shakalaka.
I'm pumping the brakes because I don't want to go on a tangent. I don't want to have a moment
We got
and
training
just kind of,
starting.
yeah, exactly. We got a training starting in about 30 minutes or not even that.
No, now.
Oh, it
It's
started
been-
now.
yeah.
That we have to run to. However, like I really kind of want to, let's talk about this once again and
Sure.
we'll bring it back up in another episode because I think it's really important that we start, just to, I don't care what the world says. If you disagree with me, info at Real Estate on the Rocks, I'll be glad to debate you. But let's debate in a normal fashion, in just a nice tone.
Yeah.
You don't have to dog on me. I won't dog on you.
That's right.
However, these are my opinions, and so far, no one has changed my mind.
Yeah.
Nobody has changed my mind. There's plenty of exceptions to the rule out there. However, the rule is pretty solid.
Sure.
So anyway, I'll let it go. My name's Dave Snowberger. This is Real Estate on the Rocks podcast. We certainly appreciate you listening. I've got Alicia Hooper, Marshall Tucker,
I'm out.
and James Mendez in the, what is that? Oh, the guy behind the glass.
Yeah.
The mind behind the glass.
The mind.
The mind
not
behind
say
the
that
glass.
again.
It's not the mind, the mime behind the glass. Huh?
Except he talks, which is not what mimes do.
He's a bad mime.
Let's
He
talk
is a
real
bad
quick
mime.
about Michael Harrell.
Michael Harrell.
Michael Harrell, Guaranteed Rate Mortgage. He can be located. I got to get out of here. Info at realestateontherocks.com. Mike Harrell, Guaranteed Rate. He lends from California. He specializes in Texas and out in Arkansas, or Arkansas, like Marshall likes to call it.
It's out.
We really appreciate you listening. If you have time, drop by the Top Shelf Agents page on Facebook, or if you have a little bit extra time, hop on over to your favorite podcast player and give us a 5-star review. We certainly appreciate it, and we've got to get out of here. Thank you.
Bye, y'all.